Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Podcast Live Stories. What, you thought we forgot about this show? Anyways, I'm your host and sometimes referee, the friendly neighborhood, Zach Stat Pearson, who is a little bit livid that he can't find his extremely expensive Russian hoodie. Not because it's Russian, but because, well, let's just say if I ordered a new one, it would take a long time to get to me. And today, I'm joined by he who fears nothing, but he's still scared anyway. A one Scare Shuffle Pilgrim.
What's up?
Was that even a word?
I said sup. I would think so.
Oh, I guess it just got cut off on my end. And of course, I'm joined by he who is if infallible, immovable, but not a juggernaut. A one Officer 9000 plus one.
In this day and age, I kind of wish that would be the case, but nah. Hey, how you doing?
I wouldn't want to be immovable. You will be a virgin for life. Anyways, all right. So this episode's a little bit unique. We may or may not be utilizing let's just say fun tools in this particular episode, as is our nature. Initiating whiteboard. But you know, we never actually used the whiteboard, so I think realistically, you know, that name never felt like it fit.
Oh, shit. All the extra stuff on here from last time.
That was a lot of things in there.
Yeah, that was before you got into the channel. That was from that BDSM episode we did. Let me see. Let's call it 4K.
I thought it was from the Holt episode.
Yeah. Could be. Okay, so this story is going to be the situation of a story in a story situation. Or I guess in this case, it's going to have an opening story and an ending story, but the bulk is the middle. Opening story. And I'm doing this just because it's fucking kind of funny. I told her I was doing this, and as you know, officer, you've been here. Whenever I have stories like this, I try to invite the people who are partially involved. Well, she said no because of a time issue, but she did ask me to specifically include the way we met, which is technically not relevant, but also relevant. All right, so I am playing laser tag. Well, no, I'm not playing laser. I'm in possibly one of the last places I've ever seen in Chicago where you could play laser tag that I know of. This had to be at least 9 to 10 years ago. Okay. Now,
Ancient.
there's these girls who I thought they were drunk, loud as fuck, talking about how many times they're gonna pop each other while playing laser tag. It seems like a friendly competition, but also they got that angry face on them. But I don't know. It could have been the way they drew their eyebrows that day. That's not a joke. We all know how it is. Sometimes they draw their eyebrows on and they just look angry. And I'm enjoying this arcade, not arcade shit. There's a restaurant next door. I'm chilling. I don't know where I'm at. My friend said this place was cool and I went. We're unrelated to this laser tag shit. We just hear them cursing each other out while they're getting ready to go and suit up. So, 2.5, maybe 3 hours in. And fucking, I am watching some security or manager guy say, hey, listen, we're done, okay? We're getting ready to close down this section. They need to stop. Now, I would learn later on that those two were still in there, laser tagging and yelling at each other. And they were pretty short, like they weren't 5 foot. So I don't even think these are grown people at the time. So they're going in there, people are chasing them, and now they're on the outside in the arcade area, pretending to shoot each other, and randomly calling each other names. You shoot like you look. Bitch, I know you ain't talking. You ugly ass motherfucker, your parents must be shit. We have the same parents. Now, everyone in the immediate area who's heard this started laughing and shit. I'm coming out of a race machine, one of the ones where you sit down in them, and I'm just laughing my ass off. And then this is when my friend Tony tells me, oh shit, they know they're not supposed to be over here. It's like, what do you mean? Like, well, I heard the guy yelling at them earlier, which is what I just told y'all, what he just said. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, let's go get them. I don't know, man. Something's off about those two. It's like little kids with fake guns. You're scared of little kids with fake guns now?
Watch out, the police will shoot them.
I mean, I was thinking like a joke of that nature, but we're both minorities, so shit kind of hits a little too close to home. So I didn't want to like potentially put a dent in the friendship over a statement like that. So I was like, fine, I'll do it myself. So I see them going between the machines. I can't go between the arcade machines, and I just cut them off at the pass, and I come around the corner, and I just pick one of them up, and I say, hey, listen, it's time to go, okay? Your parents are getting worried. This isn't cool. And I immediately freeze. Because I picked up the wrong motherfucker. This person isn't even wearing like laser tag, armor, goggle, whatever bullshits, right?
Oh no.
So I am literally just froze. And she can tell I immediately realized I fucked up, right? So she takes her lollipop out of her mouth. And she goes, so those aren't actually kids. I'm pretty sure one of them is 40.
The fuck?
Yeah. Apparently she was a regular at this place. And I just slowly put her the fuck down. And I'm just like, I am so sorry. No. How old are you? I am not someone who's ever been terrified to say my age. Not because I don't look my age. Or I do now, at least. I hope so. But because I don't know how that's going to be used against me. Like, is she going to yell, pervert freak, some other stupid shit just to piss me off? She knows it's an accident at this point. Or something else I haven't thought of. And I told her my age. And she was like, your apology is not accepted until I get a Mai Tai.
What was your age at this time? You said this was like 8-9 years ago-ish.
Yeah, 8, 9, 9, 10. So I would have been 24, 23, 24, 25. So I was like, okay, I'm so sorry. I go get a Mai Tai. And then they say, hey, there's no drinks in the arcade section. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I had to flag her back down, right? And I shit you not, while I'm waiting for her to come to the drink, I see the manager laughing his ass off of this place because one dude put one of the girls over his shoulder and she's still yelling at her sister, and another dude put the girl over his shoulder, and they're just walking out the door. I think it was GameWorks doesn't have laser tag. I don't know what the place was or if they even still exist. So she gets up to me. She says, hey, drink. And I just start walking off slowly. She just goes, hey, what's your name? I tell her my name. I was like, you from the city? Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a ride back home if you be my bitch. And I just calmly look at her and was like, are you drunk? What? No. But I don't mind giving you a ride back into the city. It's like, this whole entire exchange with her is fucking weird. But I didn't turn down the free ride. So eventually, about 3 weeks later, I learned her age. This motherfucker manipulated me into giving her booze. Don't get me wrong, she wasn't a minor. She just wasn't 21. And yeah, she just decided.
That's slightly better.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a regular crime than a felony. She was literally 20. She was like months away from drinking booze. And she obligated me to tell that part of the story. Because at the end of the night, when I left, she said, hey, just so we're clear, you still owe me a freebie. And I said, okay, well, if I see you again, I'll exchange the freebie. Nah, you gonna see me again. So apparently, she realized well before I did, she's actually been in my outer friend group circle for like 4 years. But the main reason I didn't know or pay attention to her It was because she's a fucking minor. And I had just become an adult. Don't get me wrong. It's not uncommon for an 18-year-old to maybe be friends with a 15 or 16-year-old. But when you're 21, you're not looking for a 15 or 16-year-old to hang out with 9 times out of 10. So I didn't know she was like the little sister of one of my friends. She completely knew me. And it creeped me out the second time we met. Because I honestly thought she was like a hacker and like got in my phone or something. She's one of those people who thinks it's fun to terrorize men. So 99.9% of all women. Yeah, she likes making that face. Not even joking. When she makes that face, I have to immediately question if I did anything in the past week to piss her off that she's going to use against me. Fuck you, Sasha. Just because I know you're going to hear this episode one day. I just want you to know. Fuck you.
I mean, at least you're honest.
Yes. So, one day I am leaving C2E2 or some other convention that's at McCormick Place. And I'm chilling with my friend on the metro. Now, I don't hate walking my female friends to whatever thing they need to be walked to. But I do get aggravated when they want me to walk them to a place that's inside of a building surrounded by security and cameras. That kind of annoys me, but I can't admit this because that's like saying they hear it as, I don't care about your well-being. Fuck you. Unless you're benefiting me. So I have to sit in this metro with 50 to 60 other people till her train gets there in like 20, 30 minutes. Now, I don't remember that friend's name, but for the purpose of the story, we all know my default name, so we're going to go with Kelly. So, I'm leaving, and then I hear somebody yell Zax from the escalator. And I just see Sasha with, for the first time ever, a look of abject terror on her face. Oh, I slept good that night. That shit got me to bed. Fuck you, Sasha. Fuck you right in your little asshole, Sasha. So, she runs over to me with a brown, like, Jewel Osco bag. I'm like, oh, where's her? Jewel Osco's around. She went grocery shopping? And there's a pair of shoes in there. Right. And she just goes, I'm calling in a freebie. It's like, okay. I need you to return / deliver these shoes. It's like, okay. I don't mind doing it, but why can't you do it? Well, I actually am only here because there was a 4-day weekend from college and I went out of state. So I actually really need to get back, and the person lives in the same state as us. Well, permanent residents, we have the same state, but you will have an easy chance getting this back. And I really don't want to leave out of state with these. It's like, okay. So she gave me as much contact information as she could, and I verified via social media that we had the right person, right? Now, the rest of this story is going to take place over the course of 7 months, so I don't want you guys to think this is over the course of a few days. Actually, not even 7 months, more like 15. So, incident 1. Let me see. Incident 1. Initial contact of... Oh, that's actually pretty convenient. Let's see. I need a good name for the person whose shoes I was trying to return. Let's see. What's a good generic name? Oh, yeah. Skank. That'll work.
Okay, I guess.
Sipping a drink.
I don't know what either of you said, but now y'all know what type of story this is going to be. Surprise. Surprise, motherfuckers. Now, in this, I stated something along the lines of, hi, nice to meet you. I know we don't know each other. My name is Zax. You're a friend of Sasha's, and I'm trying to return your shoes. Sasha is actually in college, so even though she's from Illinois, she's not actually going to be around to return these shoes, and she asked me to do it. I can mail them to you, but there's not a box with them. So if they're really like important, I can get them to you with a little bit more expense paid. Not from you, but in general. Or if you're local, what we can do is we can meet somewhere in public and I can return the shoes. I'm open to any suggestion you want. This isn't the first time I've had to help somebody return something. It happens to everybody. It's all good. That was basically what my message said in the most scared shuffle officer white voice I can think of. with a WH White. So, obviously, now if the story ended here, we wouldn't be here talking now, would we? Now, let's see, you're new, but you know, you're not innocent. Shuffle, what do you think happened next?
I'm gonna guess you got a response from their partner, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, instead of them.
You are so close. Her mom. Did
I don't
men-
know if that's close, but at least I was right. It was someone else.
Did I mention she's 32 at the time?
No.
Which leads us into
You did, I
incident
missed it.
2. Skank's mom, aka nice white lady. So, I get a text message back a few days later asking who I am. Am I trying to extort, you know, her daughter out of getting these shoes and whatnot? And she's all offer you a cash payment. I was like, oh no, ma'am, no, I'm actually just trying to return these for a friend. You know, I owed them one, and I just want to return them. But seeing as how there's no box to go with these shoes, I would have to buy a container. But you don't really need to reimburse me if you don't want to. But I'm not gonna get a container that's like, you know, more than maybe $20. And she's like, oh, you actually have some integrity. Well, I appreciate that, young man. Well, I'll be sure to let my daughter know that, you know, your intention is literally just to return the shoes. I was like, okay, well, and I'll be available. She can catch me at my email so we can speed things up, because I don't really follow her social media, and I'm not on every social media every 5 seconds constantly. I think I told you, officer, you know better than everybody. I am on social media maybe 1 or 2 hours a day, and I'm either looking at dank memes or making dank memes, or if it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I magically turn into, here's a bunch of shitty politics that we all hate, but is also funny to look at. That's basically my social media style. And back then, I really wasn't into social media. I was either on YouTube or I was trying to watch something via bootleg. That was it. So,
All right.
yeah. So I shit you not, guys. I shit you not. About 4 days later, Sasha hits me up. She says, hey, yeah, did you return the shoes? I tried. Her mom got a hold of me. Apparently she thought I was going to be extorting them for the shoes. I was like, no, I would have just bought a container. I was like, well, yeah, I can see why. It's like, so what, y'all just go around assuming minority's going to extort you for some fucking shoes? I was like, no, bro. It's because those shoes are worth around $4,000 used. I'm sorry, what did you say? Those shoes are valued used are around $4,000. Now, obviously, like any concerned citizen, my first thought is, how fucking much are they when they new? But I didn't ask that question. So I immediately started treating the shoes a lot nicer than I normally would, for the sole purpose of, what if they say there's a scuff mark and it cost me $500-$600 to get rid of the scuff mark? Like, I don't know these people. So I told Sasha the weird incident. She's like, oh, that's strange. She's like, yeah. And then this was because she's like 32. Why is her mom contacting me? She's like, she's 32? I was like, well, yeah. Was that an issue? It's like, no, it seems a little bit strange that you're hanging out with middle-aged people when you're like barely old enough to drink. She's not a lesbian, okay? Look, you don't know this because you're a boy. And that was a strange pivot. And she goes, look, you're a boy, so you don't know this, okay? A lot of women, when they start trying to hide their age, it's not because they want to be perceived as young, okay? That's only half the reason. I was like, well, at least we're being honest. It's like, it's because they know that being perceived as old is tetramount to not being listened to. So you're going to see a lot of women in your life who may try to hide their age, or they want to keep their age ambiguous as possible within a certain age range, as to not be perceived like some old hag. Now, I'm not disagreeing with this. I do find it a little strange that a 21-year-old is telling me this, But I also had to think, if she's 32, who's going to perceive her as an old hag? And she was like, good question.
You can
But,
be perceived old at any age. Hell, there are 13-year-olds who think 25-year-olds are old.
Yep.
See, that's when you get into comparative age. When you go comparative scaling, that's a different ballgame. A 20-year-old is ancient to a 3-year-old. Anyways, so nothing goes on. And I just tell her, hey, look, well, I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to bug or anything, but I'm going to shoot her a message again, let her know I spoke to her mom, blah, 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 blah. Hey, let's keep that shit out of the text box, okay? I'm still typing. So, fucking, we go into incident 3. The skank strikes back. So, in this particular incident, I shit you all not, somebody calls me. Like, a random stranger calls me. And they go, you the one with the shoes? Okay, it's 9:30 p.m. Whoever this is, you need to get more details or you have the wrong number. And then they go, is this Zach Pearson? It's like, yes. So you have the shoes. I have a lot of shoes, man. Can you be more descriptive, dude? And then I don't hear nothing for 40 seconds. And I'm just like, okay, I'm about to hang up. I don't hear nothing. Whoa, no, hold on. You listen here, buddy. Which is the male equivalent of, I'm about to say something that is a threat. I don't care who you are. So I'll listen and he said, okay, look, I'm sleepy. I might let you talk to yourself and you can hear me slumber. What is this about? The high heels. I was like, okay. Skank's high heels. Yeah, I've been trying to return them to her for the majority of this week, but she's not responding. I spoke to her mom not too long ago, and I'm just trying to figure out where do I need to mail these, or where am I picking these up from? Or where is she picking them up from? We're both in Illinois. She might not be in the city, which is fine, but we need to figure this out. Also, who are you? How do you know this skank? He's like, you don't need to fucking worry about that. It's like, let's make sure we're on the same page. You're calling me.
That's a little hostile for having just met.
I mean, you say it the nice way. I didn't. In fact, here's damn near verbatim when I said, okay, listen, it's 9:30 at night. I don't normally sleep this early at night, but I am today. Okay? Now, I can go back to that sleep if you keep up with this unnecessary attitude bullshit, because I'm not trying to steal the shoes, as I've already confirmed. I'm doing a friend a favor at time and financial cost to me for a mistake your whoever the fuck she was made. Okay? Don't give me no fucking attitude. I'm going to ask you one time and one time only. And if you say anything that doesn't sound like a location, I'm hanging this fucking phone up. I'm blocking this number. And I dare you to leave a threat on my phone. And as officer may tell you, I love when people leave threats on my phone, because I use them to do one of two things, or both. File a police report, get me some free money by settling out of court, or I'm using it as an excuse to have a long conversation with you if I know I'm going to see you when I actually hate you. I usually reserve that for, any form of ist and the occasional file. But this guy is just somewhere in the middle of that. So I tell him this, and then he goes, oh, really? That's how it is? Yes, sir. In the most calm voice, I just go, yes, sir. And then I just hear in the background, no, stop, no. And then the phone hangs up. I take my ass to sleep.
Oh my fucking god.
Sasha calls me the next day, somewhere around 10. And she's like, hey, I'm about to get on a flight. I really can't talk long, but there's something important I need you to know. Yeah, what's that? Fuck them shoes. I gotta go. Peace.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. So I'm thinking whoever this was tried to accuse Sasha of theft or some other shit. or they think it's Sasha's responsibility to return the shoes. I don't know, but somebody pissed Sasha off. So let's go to incident 4. Return of the nice white lady. Now, remember what I said about Sasha's age. I mean, not Sasha, Skank's age at the point in time in this story. 32. So, later in the week, just because I came in my place and I accidentally kicked the shoes, not like super hard, just like walked into them. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, the shoes. So I go back to the nice white lady. I was like, hello, ma'am. Sorry to bother you. But I'm having trouble returning the shoes. There's something really strange going on. And some douchebag called me in the middle of the night with threats that I was not tolerating. And I'm not sure how to return these shoes. In fact, the person I got them from, who I was helping, called me earlier today and said, fuck those shoes before getting on a plane. Is there any chance I can just send you these shoes or something, blah, blah, blah. So then she did something I forgot or didn't know was a thing until it happened. She called me, I believe, through Instagram. No, it wasn't a trap. She called me through Instagram. And she calmly explained to me that Skank is a grown-ass adult. If she's not going to call you or text you or answer any of your shit whatsoever, young man, I don't care if you keep the shoes. I'm not taking the shoes because I'm not going to sit up here and play patsy to my adult daughter. She needs to learn to not be a coward. I was like, well, I'm inclined to agree. Like, I literally have not been in the same places or known about it. She physically doesn't even know what I look like. And I'm doing this via a third party. So she shouldn't even be remotely intimidated by me. I haven't even spoken to her. I've only done text messages.
She really is the nice white lady in this story.
So then she switches gears. She's still nice though. She goes, okay, so this bitch is in regression. Okay. She gonna go to therapy or she gonna get cut off. I was like, that can be interpreted so many ways. So I'm like, okay, well, listen, I'm a guy and I don't specifically know the exact size someone can fit into these shoes. But hey, look, as far as I know, unless she's going to another event that I'm going to be at the same time, I'm pretty much going to get rid of these shoes in about half a year. Well, I wouldn't blame you, sir. In fact, you know, if she tries to call the cops or sue you or anything, you know, feel free to bring me up and I'll take care of it for you. I'll call up whoever's in charge of that department. So now I'm like, who the fuck is this? And I was like, oh, well, thank you, ma'am. I hope it doesn't get to that. It's like, nah, it's Skank. So everything's like 50-50, more over 60-40. So now I'm even scared to have the shoes. She says goodbye. I say goodbye. And this leads into incident 5. So around 6 p.m. the very next day, her mom calls me back. We're going to call this one. Oh, dear. Okay. So, obviously, I can't say that one out loud. Or I can, but it would be inappropriate based on where I'm at right now. So, she starts having a very unrelated to her daughter basic conversation with me. And then she asked me, hey, is this picture of you accurate? I was like, are you asking me, do I catfish? Now, most guys I know, at least in my age bracket, they don't catfish. I was like, oh. Well, hey, if you can give me a picture of you right now, I might be able to have someone pick this up. I was like, oh, okay. Took a picture of myself, sent it to her. Right? And she goes, I shit you not. Hey, how old are you? Now, that immediately means one of two things in my age group. She wants to make sure she's not sending someone to go and talk to a minor without parental consent. Or something else. Because that is wholeheartedly irrelevant for the majority of the story. So I tell her my age. And she says, oh, well, hey, listen, you don't have to bring the shoes, but I'm going to be in the city for the next couple of months. We can exchange things if you want. I was like, oh, well, yeah. And I was like, yeah, we can do that. I was like, wait, I'm not sure what I would be exchanging, but I'll bring you the shoes. You don't have to give me any money. Oh, well, I appreciate that, but if you wanted to stick around, I don't mind buying you something to eat. But she didn't say it the normal way. She said it in that I want some dick kind of way. But I'm not about to ask her, Miss Nice White Lady, you trying to get some dick off me? I didn't ask her that. So, I don't want to make an assumption, but I also don't want to sound like a pervert, because whatever happens, I have the strangest feeling this shit is going to get back to Sasha. Technically, I was wrong. But I just sat up here and told this lady, okay, yeah, I guess we can do that. And Spider sings, she goes, how old are you? And then she told me her age. 32 plus 16. So this lady been active for quite some time. She been straight up active for quite some time. So I come to the realization, I don't think I'm scared of this particular type of person, but I don't know what she looks like. And quick reminder, I don't know if this is going to get back to Sasha. Also, I don't know what's going to happen to me if this gets back to Sasha, So I'm in a very unique position. Well, I mean, I guess that could technically apply. Technically. Now, the way this ends up playing out is I go back to Skank one last time. I will disclose how Incident 5 ended at a later time in this video, but, I basically told her, let me see what my schedule is like, and I'll see if we can arrange something. Again, at this point, I'm still talking about the shoes. But I'm getting hints of she wants something more than some shoes. So, and this is at a point in time when, as far as I consider myself, I'm okay with being a 5, or maybe depending on where I'm at, I go from a 5 to a 7, but I consider myself a traditional 5 at this point in my life. But I recognize that certain groups just want something from me. So, how can I phrase this? I go back to Skank, which leads into Incident 6. The final flash. Of Karen. Now, I wish I had the memes that were involved in this one. I don't. But man, it was hella funny. It was fucking hella funny. So, I hit up Skank on Facebook, despite most of this stuff happening via Instagram. Hey, I don't really give a shit how whoever it was got my number. I'm not exactly out here hiding. But I want you to know something, and I want you to understand something. I don't give a shit about your shoes. You won't come get them. I might be able to give them to your mom along with something else. And I put a heart emoji. So, look, don't have nobody trying to contact me about the shoes. If she's not, excuse me, if she's not going to take the shoes, then I am going to hold them maybe a half a year. And then what's going to be is going to be. Here's the conventions I'm planning on going to for the rest of the year. Reminder, despite where you may have met me, I actually don't frequent Japanese cartoon themed conventions that often. I actually do more pop culture, entertainment, and video gaming conventions. But because so many people don't even care about a differentiation, a lot of people consider them essentially all blurred together in one thing.
Oh, I could go on a whole rant on how so many conventions have just been turned into anime conventions. Like, when they're used to be focused on a different thing. Oh my god.
I promise you, all three of us could. I promise you. And then the OnlyFans apocalypse happened. But that's another matter entirely. I could do a whole video on weird OnlyFans people I met who think they're not fucked up when I wasn't even asking. Oh my god, we'd be here all day. I love how they've decided I'm a customer when I don't know who they are and I'm not interested and I'm not thirsting or a simp. But that's, again, we'd be here all day. That's a whole nother mess of shit. So, and I said, if you ever respond to this message, I want you to know, bet not be no threats like your boyfriend or whoever the fuck it was on the phone like last time. Because my tolerance for you is not that high. Mind you, this is a total female stranger, right? So, speed forward to second convention of the timeline I gave this chick. So we're getting closer to September, October. Sasha's at this convention. Sasha sees me, and for the first time in history, I've seen Sasha, and the last time in history, I saw Sasha run. She ran for 15 seconds. She was winded as fuck. And you know what the first thing she said when she finally got her breath back? Stop laughing at me. Sounded like Batman grappling shit.
Stop laughing at me.
Yes.
Stop it!
Yes.
Stop it!
Yes. That's what it sounded like. And that made it worse. Because here's the thing. If I'm 15 seconds away from you and you flag me down, I'm going to stop. So you could have walked. It was hilarious. And then she just goes, I thought I told you to get rid of them shoes. I was like, hey, look, they cost a little too much. I was a little bit scared. But to be fair, I mean, I pretty much worked out a deal. It's like, no, you didn't work out a deal. Like, what do you mean? Bro, she's going around telling people that you're stalking her. No, she's not. Yes, she is. Pulls out a cell phone. Shows me a litany of like group chats and shit. Right? I swear to this skank was trying to get me banned from conventions after she had somebody get her shoes for her. Apparently this girl is some form of a extreme shy to the point of having a personality disorder. I don't mean like she's terrified of new people. I mean like she's scared to have phone conversations with her own biological parents. So now that brings us full circle into what Incident 4 was talking about. Because remember, the nice white lady said she's going to get cut off unless she goes back into therapy. You know? Apparently, she relapsed into being chronically shy to the point of it being a personality disorder. So whatever name there is for a shy personality disorder, she got it. She would call people on Lyft or Uber just to bring her into the parking lot where her car was, where she worked. We're going to get into how I found that one out possibly when we're done recording. But yeah.
Oh my god.
But also, her family is loaded. She is a fourth generation heiress. And I don't know if she's the heir apparent, but she is an heir. Bare minimum, every year of her life, she has been worth over 7 figures. Or high 6. Every year of her life. As an American citizen. Now, I've seen my fair share of rich girls. They usually go in 3 categories. Don't give a fuck if they're rich. A fucking Kardashian human trash piece of shit. Who's always trying to make their image look like they're something that they're not. Or they are so deep into their own world that they don't acknowledge reality until someone's cursing them out.
You missed one. You missed the, oh, I'm not like other rich girls, and then proceeds to do all of it.
Yeah. But I don't consider those different. They all try to do that. I'm just like everyone else is like, You've never not owned a Lambo. Shut the fuck up. I actually had to say that to somebody once. I was actually pissed. Not that she was rich, but that she said, I'm just like everyone else. It's like, fuck you. Like, I hate that mentality. But yeah, she was something completely different. So I was like, no one believes this shit, right? No. Because the way she explains it, she's telling the truth. So she comes out just looking fucking weird. But here's the thing. How many people is she going to go through until statistically somebody just goes with it? You remember the Youmacon saga? I was like, now, for those who don't know the lore of me as a person, I actually have a whole entire episodic saga with one of the largest conventions in Michigan by the name of Youmacon, but more colloquially, a lot of people used to call it Youmacon. Now, Shuffle, I know you don't know about it. Officer basically lived a fraction of it with me, but...
I mean, I've heard of the con, but
okay.
never been.
Okay, so, very short version. One year, they hired somebody via nepotism who was so fucking bad at her job, people in other departments, head of departments, wanted her fired before the convention even started. That's how bad she was at her job. She thought because she was in one department, she could tell anybody else in any department, especially department heads, what to do. Her name is Rebecca Hamill. That's right, we ain't hiding our identities on this bitch. So here's the thing though. Despite me doing my job the correct way and her not even knowing how my job worked, she tried to get me fired almost every day I was there because she couldn't tell I was doing my job the right way. Including when somebody supposedly was in my hotel room that wasn't on the list to be a roommate. I had to literally drop what I was doing, go to the room to get it sorted out. Turns out the person who was in charge of room organizations fucked up the entire list. So someone who wasn't supposed to have a key to my room had a key because on their paper they were supposed to be there. And because I went to go take care of that incident, I let everyone in the room know this is serious. She decides, since I wasn't physically in her presence, she's going to go and make up a whole bunch of shit that didn't happen and try to use it to get me fired, along with almost 20 other people who told her she can't do something or that she wasn't in charge of something specific. Basically, if you told her no, she tried to ruin your life. Is that not the most rich bastard shit you've ever heard, despite her not being a rich bastard?
I'd just call that petty.
Oh, and she was
Extremely.
also... Oh, yeah, and she
like,
also...
I don't think that is a rich person thing or not. Like, I've met fucking some of the most broke-ass people ever who will go through that level of effort to fuck someone over.
Oh, yeah, and she was abusing her stepchild while she was there. But moving on.
Okay, that's unforgivable. That's when that would anger me. You hurt a child, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
He didn't even do anything. That's the worst part. Now, if he was an asshole, if his father wasn't there supervising him. No, in fact, here's the fucked up thing. When she left the room one time, her fucking husband came out and apologized to us about her, despite him not doing anything. You know how weird that is? He's not even working. Is
that man whipped?
That's sadly more common than you would think.
He's not even working there. That's the crazy part.
But if he was there and he saw his wife do something, yeah, that tracks. Makes sense.
So, fucking... She's basically telling me, bro, this is going to be just like that. I was like, nah. I'm not going through that shit again. Because first off, the main reason I even got half of that dealt with is because people thought I was fucking around when I said, watch me call the cops on you. Or let's see what happens when we go and play the screenshot in the truth game. Right? Because it got to a point where people who aren't involved in the incident don't know what the full story is or even what happened, are telling other conventions and other people this shit, and they're just taking it as the gospel. And that's what pissed me off, because it would be conventions that aren't related to maps. Youmacon is technically not related to maps, they just affiliate. I don't actually fuck with a lot of maps conventions. I don't hate maps as an organization, but most of the conventions that have existed and that I've gone to don't have shit to do with maps, period. So fucking, that's what was pissing me off. the most about it. Now, I'm just like, okay. Here's what's gonna happen. You go tell your friend, oh no, honey, she ain't my friend. I just wanted her boyfriend. It was like, Sasha. I know we don't know each other, but I'm not really the type of person who will help you like steal somebody. Okay? Now, if it was like physically abusive or she was cheating all the time and he just don't see it or something, that's another matter. I was like, oh, then we're on the same side then. What, she a cheating asshole? No, she thinks it's fun to physically assault him.
Wow.
I'm ready to throw hands.
And I was like,
I'm ready to fucking throw hands.
And I'm just like,
I'll lose, but I'll throw hands.
You'll win. So I'm just like, you'll lose the court battle, but you'll win the fight. So I'm like, okay, let's back up real quick. So according to you and maybe her mom, she has a psychological personality disorder, some bullshit, with chronic shyness. Wants to get the shoes, but is scared to have me come to her and get the shoes. Goes to conventions and is abusing her fucking boyfriend physically. And I hate when Sasha does this. She just goes, what do you don't understand? That's exactly what it is. I hate when people do that. Okay? I'm trying to state how irrational something sounds, and then they just go, well, duh. Or the equivalent.
Now, what would be your response if someone said, well, that sounds about right?
No, that's comical to me. That's like saying, yep, it is a Monday. But that shit pissed me off. Also, fuck you, Sasha. Moving on. So...
Are you still in contact with this person?
Yes, I said I spoke to them right before I told them I was going to do the episode.
Well then, I wonder what your next interaction's going to be like.
Oh, I'm giving this to her. I'm giving this to her brother first. Anyways, me and him are still cool too. Anyways, it was like, and then she goes, wait a minute. You still talk to her mom? So now I'm about to duck that entire situation because I didn't want to explain that shit to Sasha because I don't know how she's going to react. You know? And this is when MILF Hunter was still relatively popular. Hey, we're not
I fucking forgot about that shit.
I know, because once the term took off, it was like he was the only person not benefiting from it. I literally don't even know that guy's name or if his shit is still around. Because there's a difference between being able to still buy some shit versus them still making content. But also, you know, talking about it in this video with recording would feel kind of, I guess, weird for the audience. But we'll discuss things at a later time. Like 30 seconds when this shit's over. So, fucking, what was it? Oh yeah, so I was like, listen. The only way to get a dude like that is not by giving him a better offer, because that's still stealing, okay? People will look at you a certain way. I know you might not give a shit, but, you know, you give a shit. I don't need statistics to tell me young people who have access to social media give a shit if they have a bad image or reputation, or they have a stain on their them as a person online. You know how it is. Everybody thinks they can protect their brand, but if you ain't got money, you ain't protecting shit. And even then, if you do have money, there's still no guarantee. So I was like, look, what you need to do is get him around guy friends. Find his guy friends or get your guy friends around him. Need him to understand that you're not just saying what you are because you yourself have a vested interest in getting in his pants. Then she started laughing and then cursing me out. I was like, what are you doing? It's like, I hate that was funny. It's like,
I was being dead serious, motherfucker.
And I'm just like, that's not my fault though. It's like, fuck you. It's like, okay, look. Well, send me some screenshots. Don't send them all to me. I'm gonna go back to her and I'm gonna tell her, look, next convention I'm at, I'm gonna be sitting in the lobby. Your shoes are going to be in my lap. If by the end of that day you do not show up to get these shoes, you, not a third party representative, guess what? I'm going to break the shoes, chop them up, and then I'm going to tell your mama I did it. How dare you do this bullshit to me? And then Sasha sees me texting this message like, I'm surprised you don't shove the shoes up her ass. So like, Sasha, I am a grown ass man. Okay? I'm 21. I'm a grown man, but I ain't a grown ass man yet. I was like, listen, even I know if you even fake a threat, no matter how common or basic it is, to a female online, the entirety of the internet is going to come down on you and possibly police. So speed forward to,
All right.
I don't know if it was Gen Con or some early in the year convention, which I don't know why people do conventions early in the year. It's just not the right time in almost any state to do it.
Gen Con? You mean like the big tabletop gaming one in Indiana?
I'm sure it's more than tabletop, but yeah, it's Indiana, or it was someplace not too far from Illinois, or it was outside of the city of Chicago. Like I think it might have been in Evanston or something. And I'm just like, here's exactly where I am, and I know you're gonna be here. So unless you somehow get here before me, ain't no way in fuck you gonna miss me. And when I look you in the eyes, I want you to know I'm literally learning what you look like. So in case somebody comes up to me later, or if I see you at a convention, I'm going to have my screenshots ready, and I'm going to make sure your face is attached to them literally. I'm not fucking with you. I don't know you. Fuck you. Here's where it gets weird. About a week later, I get a call again. Now this leads us into Incident 7. Fetish Saga. Don't worry. Shut up. Don't worry, it's not going to be a 3-part epic. So, it is 8:45 at night, and I get a call from that number I mentioned earlier about the asshole threatening me. This guy picks up and says, I saw your message. It's like, I don't know which one you're talking about, but whatever it is, hey, if you want to come get him, you can come get him. I'm not talking about the fucking shoes. It's like, I've only ever messaged your, I'm assuming, girlfriend about the shoes. You know she's my fucking girlfriend. It's like, I don't even know your name. You purposely had your phone company list your name as the number to this number. So his name is listed as 312 blah 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 blah. It's actually a pretty clever trick. Yeah. So it was like, listen, I don't care about the shoes anymore. It's like, oh, well, at least we found something that we can agree on. Motherfucker. It's like, that's not when you use that word. Oh, it was just weird. He did a fake laugh mocking me, and then he ends it with motherfucker. It was just really weird. It's like, okay, listen, dude, what is it you want? It's like, listen, you don't ever. I was like, oh, here we go. Fucking in your goddamn life, you little black piece of shit. Oh, so you know what I look like now? I was like, yeah, I can find you. He's like, please do so. What do you mean do so? So you are into that type of stuff? I'm sorry, what did you just say? Because y'all see with that transition, how that transition sounded, right? He said, you're into that type of stuff. It's like, what the fuck?
What the? That something's not aligning up here.
See, if the bisexual dude even knows it, you know there's some shit that's up. Somebody in this conversation is sus, and it ain't me. Why does everybody like giving the characters of Final Fantasy VII William Dafoe's face? Like, I still don't understand that. There's like 50 of those. Anyways. And I was like, hold on, bro. I'm confused right now, okay? Okay? Don't put it in front of the text. What did I say? I'm telling everybody, point blank, hey, look, I don't respect your girlfriend, okay? She's fucking with me. I know about her condition, but it's not an excuse to be an asshole. This is the same thing I tell people who try to say something stupid Or they double down and then they go online and say, I have autism. It's like, first off, even if you did have autism, you would know saying some shit like that does not excuse what the fuck came out your mouth. You are grown. It's like,
I will say it depends on context and what they're saying. If they're saying, oh, I have autism, and they're looking for it as a catch-all, then no, fuck you. But
that's exactly what I'm saying, bro.
It's being used as, I just say this in general. A lot of times people on the spectrum will say, I'm sorry, I have autism. I'm not saying that as an excuse, but this happens sometimes.
No, it wasn't that. Better. It was the first method. It was the I fucked up, so since I fucked up, I want to play the victim card, and the only thing they can think of is, hey, I have autism.
Yeah, people who do that deserve a punch in the face.
Oh, my favorite part is that those same people never have it verified or certified, or show that it's been verified or certified. Anyways, so I was like, okay, let me just repeat what I said. I don't give a flying fuck about your girlfriend. I don't know if you know this, but my main reason I'm mad at her, she's been trying to get me banned or kicked out of conventions because she's mad I haven't delivered her shoes, which she's been actively avoiding me talking to her about delivering, and her mom's not going to help her either. And he goes, you talk to her mom? I was like, okay, look, yes, but that's not important right now. The main thing I'm trying to say is that she's trying to have a bunch of third parties get these shoes, but every time she pisses off the third party, or the third party, you piss me off. So what do you mean all this shit about, I didn't think you were into that, or whatever? It's like, oh, well, you know, I like watching my girl do stuff. What kind of stuff? And I immediately said, know what? Don't answer that question. Do not answer that question. No. Okay?
You opened the can, you fool!
No, I didn't open the can. The can was open before I was even there. I'm the idiot who walked through the door without paying attention. So, of course, as per usual, when I say, you know what, I don't want to know, there's this uncanny group of people with a particular, almost marshmallow-like skin tone who immediately do the opposite. Whether they're my friend fucking with me, or it's a total stranger and they don't realize I'm being disturbed, or it's a total stranger and they know I'm being disturbed and I don't want to know, legitimately, they all tell me anyway. Oh, well, my girlfriend likes being degraded by other men, and yeah, I like to watch. Sorry for hurting your eyes, Sasha.
What? Oh, wow.
Remember how this was about returning shoes? Well, yeah, but you remember how this was about returning shoes? I do.
Vaguely?
Let's just recap these incidents so quick. We went from trying to return shoes with someone who's got a chronic shyness personality disorder bullshit going on, to her mom trying to fuck me. Let's just call a spade. And now her boyfriend wanting to watch me verbally abuse her while having sex with her. You see how the story starts off normal and then it just descends into madness?
I would argue it wasn't normal from the get-go.
Well, normal.
That's just my opinion.
Well, we'll say normal for fucking personality disorders. You know, a shyness personality disorder is pretty low on the spectrum, but it's descended into chaos. So, I was like, hey, listen, I need you to never tell me that again. Okay? Also, Sasha really wants to be with you because she thinks you're in a bad relationship. And quite literally, she is plotting the demise of your relationship, man. Oh, and I'm not telling you because I hate Sasha. I'm telling you because I hate your girlfriend and I want to see you get with Sasha. Oh, bro, that's so cool. I'll never meet somebody like me. No, that's not what the fuck I meant. That's not what the fuck I meant.
I guess. I mean, that's one way to interpret it.
Fuck you. So I go in and I'm just like, okay, let's calm this shit down a little bit. Here's what's actually going to happen. I don't care what you do with your girlfriend. She should stop physically abusing you. I don't care if you get with Sasha. Here's what's going to happen with the shoes. She's going to come get these shoes. I'll come get the shoes. You're not coming to get the shoes. How come? Because if I even see you reach for these shoes next time I'm at a convention and I don't know you or what you look like, I'm going to break the shoes. You would break $4,000 shoes? Yes. Why? Because they're heels and I'm a guy. I don't understand where the confusion's coming from. I was like, well, yeah, that does make sense. They're like, ain't too many dudes out here rocking heels. And even if they are rocking heels, they're probably not a size 6 or 7. So, I tell them exactly what convention I'm going to be at. Now, here's what gets a little funny. This is kind of my fault, but I don't care. I sit there, and I see one of my friends. We start talking. They ask me what's the deal with the shoes. I tell them what's going on. That was you? And then I'm talking to him. He texts somebody. 6 people come down to the lobby. So now we're all talking about this incident. And eventually, we stop talking about the incident. We just start chilling. Somebody plays a little bit of music. Then 6, 7 more people show up. Then 8, 9 more people show up. Y'all already know what's happening. We're not causing a public disturbance, but we are disturbing the hotel. Because we're like right next to the entrance. And they want us to disperse, so to speak. You know? So eventually, some of us start dispersing and then these cops show up. Auxiliary police, to be specific. If you don't know who auxiliary police are, yes, you do. You will see them at almost any convention you go to. And they just go, I am looking for a Pearson. Spider sense is tingling. Is there a Pearson out here? And you just see like 20, 30 hands go up. And then 3 or 4 of the people block people's hands from going up. Hey, I saw that. And they walk over there. And I'm just like, these motherfuckers looking for me. And I just go to my friend, I think it was Harris. I was like, Harris, yo, they're looking for me. She's still not trying to get the shoes. I bet you she sent those police to try to get the fucking shoes. Wow, dude, man, fuck that hoe. I think I might actually like her better if she was just a hoe. It's like, I know it's an insult, but it's a weird sounding insult. It's like, yeah.
To me, that's not even an insult. That's just kind of like, man, you gotta get your priorities changed.
Well, I mean, technically she was staggeringly beautiful, but I think as I've explained to Officer, I don't care if you're pretty, if you piss me off. I'm one of the few men that I know of who can honestly say that. I don't care how beautiful you are. If you piss me off, I'm not horny. So, fucking...
I'm with you on that one, but I'm similar.
Yeah, so, fucking, I'm just over here like, okay. This is getting serious. I'm destroying these shoes. But I'm going to calmly get the fuck up and I'm going to walk. So my room isn't ready also. So I did the cleverest thing ever. I was like, hey, I go to the front desk. I say, can you hold my luggage until my room is ready? Here's my driver's license. And when my room is ready, can you send the luggage up and just put it in the room? Yes. So I snuck the shoes in there. Right? So even if they do see me later, I can say wrong person or seriously, officer, we all look alike. Whenever you say that out loud, officers get a little bit antsy. Oh, so we all look alike now? Fucking love doing that. Mind you, it only happens in the worst possible times when they're looking for somebody who isn't me and I don't look alike, so I do it legitimately. And we just straight up went to my room. And there ended up being a fight in the lobby. Technically, I indirectly caused that fight. They were looking for a Pearson. They found a Pearson and his fist. I don't know how the fuck they don't have my first name, but okay. So I text this girl, look here, skank. And yes, I did actually say skank this time. Fuck your shoes. Fuck your whole ass life. Fuck your personality disorder. Fuck your victim mentality, victim blaming, potential bullshit you might try. And fuck all the people who believed all those bullshit text messages and crap you made up to try to get people on your side that didn't happen at all. Because one of those text messages said that I kept those shoes and was sending her dick pics.
Okay.
first off, only 3 of my girlfriends have ever even wanted dick pics. Not because the other ones hated my dick. It was like specifically they like getting dick pics. And I go out of my way to tell them, don't ever tell anyone that shit ever, because it'll be used against you at a later date. Even your female friends. So, fucking... I took one shoe with me and Harris, and he just backed up over it. Took a picture of it, right? Left it there. The second shoe I gave to Sasha, and she told me to say, quote unquote, that she lit that shoe like a hotel party. Also, she lived on dorms. I'm trying to figure out where she got enough gasoline to just do that shit. And she did it right on the sidewalk and took a picture of it. So then, after that, I blocked her on everything. And I made mention of her on Instagram post. And for the first and only time in my life, I got a notice of takedown on Instagram. Instagram said it violated some TOS policy. It was total bullshit. But I tried disputing it for like 2 weeks and I said, fuck it. So let's go into the post story.
I wouldn't have even taken the effort to do that part, but that's just because I'm me.
So I went back and texted her and I said, I know that you are trying to stop the story from going out. So you probably had something to do with this Instagram shit that keep happening. But I'm going to tell you something. I regret nothing. And if I had burnt your shoes like Sasha did, I wouldn't have even mailed you the ashes. So, I'm telling Sasha the in-between stuff. The stuff I just essentially told y'all that she didn't know. Because at this point, it's a brand new year and we're at a convention and we chilling in her room. And there are people listening because they just thought it was interesting. But I'm mainly just telling the story to Sasha. So I tell the story to Sasha, and Sasha goes, man, that sucks. I really wanted to see if I could get him into a threesome. I was like, Sasha, is that the only thing you got out of this story? Seriously? You still trying to steal our man? Well, I wasn't really trying to steal him. I mean, he realized it was a fucked up situation, but I don't like being watched, but at a bare minimum, I'm sure I could have pulled off the threesome. I was like, Sasha, listen, I respect you a great deal. I think you are a little asshole, but you're a noble asshole. But I don't need to hear about you being in a degradation fetish. Like, I don't have a degradation fetish. I don't want to be watched either. Well, then what the fuck are you talking about? You was just going to have a threesome with him and who else? It's like, and then she looks at me dead in the face, swirls her drink around in her hand with a shit-eating grin on her face, and don't say nothing. I'm confused as fuck.
Oh, dear.
So then, here comes, her brother, who actually does want to remain nameless, and he just looks at me and is like, did I not tell you about this? I was like, tell me about what? So everyone in the room is like, bro, really think about it. So then I look at Sasha again. Shit-eating grin on her face, drinking her drink, looking at me and making direct eye contact. So then I calmly put my drink down and walk out the room. And then I hear Sasha down the hall. And she says, hey, I wouldn't have been abusive to you. The door's always open, bitch.
Are you fucking kidding?
No, I'm not.
Well,
In fact, that last part being of the only almost psychedelic level of chaos and weirdness that happened in this story, that was the part I specifically wanted Sasha for, because that's the one part that I was under the impression people would think is like insanely unbelievable. Now, Sasha didn't duck this out because she's embarrassed or shy. In fact, I wish she was embarrassed and shy. It wouldn't be as awkward around her. Apparently, Sasha has never been in a monogamous relationship. She's bisexual, And for a small amount of time, her and her brother were raised by her overtly hyper-religious grandparents, like all four of them. Something had happened to their parents temporarily, or they went out of country because they wanted to set up something for a business and they couldn't take the kids at the same time, but they knew it would lead to an excessive amount of money and they would only have to be without their kids for maybe 3 or 4 years. Mind you, ironically, their parents came back with a fucking little sister that they didn't know nothing about. They thought it'd be a cool, fun surprise. I haven't met this third sister and I'm kind of scared to at this point, but you know, that messed her up to where she thought there would be something wrong with her for being bisexual and all this other shit. And then over time, she just got comfortable being poly. Ethically poly. But that doesn't mean one boy and one girl for her. It just means 2 instead of 1. Apparently, I was on the list.
Do you know? Well, polyamorous relationships.
Bro, I don't know that shit. All I know is I hear open relationship essentially. But whatever the fuck it is, however the fuck it works, I have not truly investigated. I got a bunch of friends who do that shit, but I haven't investigated that much. But I haven't felt the need to, because I've been on a very peculiar system I like to call, did everybody consent to this shit? Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
You hit the nail on the head. Polyamory is, I have a person who's a life partner, and as long as you keep them in the loop of who you're sleeping with, it's fine. That's mostly how it works.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. My main thing is, if a child ain't involved, I'm not getting involved. If abuse ain't involved, I'm not getting involved. And I want to make sure they understand, hey, if shit comes up, y'all need to make it clear that I am not a participant. I am just a friend.
Man, I wish more people thought like that.
Gee, I wonder why. Moving on. So that was my only real concern. I don't even know when Sasha started getting into me or anything like that. Maybe I called her Ramona too many times and she thought it was a compliment. I didn't mean it as an insult. She kind of dressed like Ramona. So, you know. And now I make sure I don't go anywhere with her that involves alcohol. There have been incidents. I don't deny these incidents, but I don't like the whole almost 3 or 4 days after these incidents where Sasha just starts calling me boyfriend. I am not okay with that. I wasn't even planning on having incidents with Sasha. It was more like she realized, wait a minute, if I get to your weak spot, at some point in time, you're going to say, fuck it, I don't care anymore. Also, most important about this story, I need you guys to remember this. Fuck you, Sasha. I'm still salty. So yeah. Questions?
No, I think everything's pretty straightforward, albeit convoluted.
I'm not sure. It was a pretty straightforward story. Can I just point out, like, it was supposed to be about shoes. It was supposed to be about shoes. So yeah, with that being said, that brings this next episode of Life Stories to a close. I don't know who all is going to be involved with the Patton Oswalt review, since he's going to be doing a set at C2E2. But if you want to be involved, as always, let me know. The Patton Oswalt ticket is separate from the C2E2 ticket. Do not forget. Now, as far as what comes up next after this, well, we go back into a series of interviews. And maybe we start talking about Devil May Cry. We are reviewing Devil May Cry. I don't know if we're reviewing Daredevil's new season collectively, but I am reviewing it because
I've been keeping up with it.
But have you seen every episode?
I haven't seen this week's yet.
Old and new episodes.
I did watch every season.
Okay, cool. All right, if you want to be involved, just figure it out. And no spontaneous dropouts, please. Please alert me in advance. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna splice in anybody else who wasn't here for the primary one, and we're gonna hear their reactions. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.